everyone. Thank you so very much for coming this morning in spite of the weather. You made it here. And we are so appreciative to every dignitary, colleagues, friends, and family, and all of Central Boston staff that are here. I thank God for this event, because if it wasn't for him, this wouldn't have happened. And so for that, I'm grateful, because it was a dream, a vision. It took hard work. It took partnering, because you can't do it alone. And Ms. Hardaway had the wisdom enough to realize that she couldn't do it alone. She had to partner and ask her friends and her colleagues to make this happen. And it happened, because you're in the building right now. So I won't prolong any longer. At this time, I will ask our Board of Directors President, Mr. Tony Francis.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here as well. I'm glad to see all you good people. Can I have all the board members stand? Around. Oh, there it is. Good. So the board voted on this, and we made it happy. We made it happen happily. So happy for Ms. Hardaway. When Jackie mentioned hard work, I don't think there's anyone who worked as hard as Catherine Hardaway. And I hope in her retirement she's working just as hard to relax. So thank you. I'm so glad to be here. I won't take much of your time. I'm going to introduce, for invocation, Bishop John Borders.
To the members of the board, to our mayor and all the elected officials, and all of you, permit me to say I love you. I love you in the Lord, and I thank God for this day, because it's such an important event. I wrote out my prayer. So may we bow our heads and look to the Lord. Dear Lord, creator of the universe, you gave us the tools and the raw materials to build civilizations. You also provide the health and strength to be productive and peaceful. Lord, we honor you today. And now, right here, on this piece of ground that you have consecrated, we dedicate the Catherine Hardaway residences. This took great leadership from the board, from the mayor, from the city council, from other elected officials who care for the elderly and all the citizens of Boston. So bless them for following through. Grant them peace and good health and wisdom as they lead us. Thank you, Lord, for a wonderful and caring and strong woman like Catherine. A building in her name is a fitting tribute to the work that she's done for Central Boston Elder Services. She's devoted to you, Lord, and she loves people. Lord, every building needs a foundation, a structure, and a roof. So lay the foundation of this building with love. We honor the histories and the stories of our seniors, and we pray their health and strength. Wire this building with compassion. Let mercy be its plumbing. May the roof of this building protect its residences from the cold winds of racism and the hard rains of abuse towards senior citizens. Lord, let the sun shine every day on all the families and all the staff who enter these doors. And may God, through Christ, bless this building to be a representation of your kingdom. In the name of Jesus and in the name of God of all faiths, I pray. Amen. Amen.
Bishop Borders. That was beautiful. Mr. Michael Vance is the new CEO of Central Boston Elder Services. And he was given the task of taking us forward. And he has the support of Ms. Hardaway, the board, staff, and we know he will do a wonderful job taking us further. So who knows, we may build maybe 10 more buildings.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Come on now. Good morning. All right, great, great. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming out. At my interview, the hardest part was, for me, was trying to follow in Catherine's footsteps. But I'm blessed and I'm lucky that Catherine has been in my life. I joke and I say I still work for Catherine, but Catherine gives me consultation. She is always available. I think I talked to her yesterday and the day before. When I have problems, questions, I'm always able to reach out to Ms. Hardaway. And I'm forever grateful for having this opportunity. But as I said at the interview, the hardest part will be following you. I use other words too. We have other conversations about ghosts and stuff like that. But you've done so much. You created, you built 2 buildings almost at the same time, it feels like it. But this building is here. This is what we're here to talk about today. And we're here to honor you, and it is fitting. Before I even knew that the board voted for that, I said, wow, they should name the building next door after Ms. Hardaway, because you deserve it. It's a lot of hard work. And by the way, there won't be a whole lot more, because it is a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work. But we have partners like the city, the state, the federal government. She pulled everybody together. I know the architect is here, the builders are here. Somebody gave me the shovel from 2011. Somebody, I guess, had walked off with one, so they gave it to me. So it's in the office. So it's a fantastic thing. And I just want to tell you how appreciative I am of you every single day. Especially for this building, that building, you got a bunch of staff here. Everybody you hired, still here, all these folks. So, but I have the pleasure of introducing the keynote, our mayor, my mayor, your mayor, all of our mayor, for the city of Boston, Marty J. Walsh. And if you can come up and give some remarks, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael. It's an honor to be here today. As I was walking in, I saw Catherine in the front hall. She was being interviewed by one of the Boston cable channels, and I said to her, this kind of reminds me of Big Poppy's going away. She's been retiring for about 6.5 years now. And I think I've been to a lot of retirement parties, but I don't know, we're going somewhere next week, so I want to thank you for this. But seriously, I'm going to talk about Catherine in a second. I want to thank Michael and everyone from Central Boston Elder Services. I want to thank the board, Tony and all the board members. Thank you for what you do every day here. This is so important in our city. I often talk about my first connection to Central Boston was I was a state representative and I represented Dorchester. And Kit Clark was my senior center and our elder service. And when I was a rep, when it became budget time, the different organizations would come together, and Catherine would be part of that organizational clique with Dale Mitchell and other folks from Ethos, and they'd come into the office and understanding the importance of elder care and understanding the importance of legislation that was impacted seniors in our city at the time. And I remember that the prescription drug program was a big one back when that fight was happening before it came, and working on those issues. And every year at budget time, Catherine would come into my office along with Sandy Albright and some other great folks to talk about senior citizens and the importance of senior citizens. And so I want to thank her for that. Today we're joined by a lot of people from the city of Boston, but one person in particular, Emily Shea, who is the the head of Commissioner of our Age Strong Commission. And Emily has had a relationship with Catherine for a long time. And we recently renamed our City of Boston's Elderly Commission the Age Strong Commission because older adults in Boston don't fit stereotypes. And that's something that we want to continue to work on. The older Bostonians are active in our communities. Many of you, as I look out around this room, I see many of you that are engaged in the civic life of your neighborhood and different organizations. You're passionate about giving back and educating the next generation of young people. And I want to thank you for that. You embrace all that our city has to offer, and that spirit is alive in this building that we're in today. And that's something that's really important. I'm proud that we're renaming this building in honor of somebody who has empathizes all those what needs to be age strong. Catherine Hardaway is a leader, as we all know. She's a friend to many, and certainly a friend to me. And Mike, you don't have to worry about her retiring because I'm on speed dial. And Catherine will speed dial me about what's going on in the community and what we have to do better. But that's important because she's a force to be reckoned with. She loves Dudley with all her heart, and I know you do. And that's something that's really important because Dudley, even though we don't report it, it's going through a revitalization right now. And there's a lot of great things happening in this neighborhood, and we should be proud of that. And you're a big part of it. You're a lifelong advocate for our seniors, and that's important to us in our city. You're also a caring neighbor, and I want to thank you for that. And when you get a chance, I know you probably say a few words today, look around this room and see the people from different areas that are here today, of your life and of city life, and what you mean is so important. I also want to recognize City Councilor East Sabi George, who's here today. You know, when I became a state representative, I would go into my senior buildings 4 times a year because that's where you find information and that's where you get a good feeling for what the community's all about. When I became the mayor, Emily Shea was the head of the Elderly Commission at the time, and I asked her to stay on because she had the relationships with people like Catherine, who did amazing work in our city. Catherine has helped show us a better way forward for our seniors. She's made a big impact in right here in this building, but throughout the city of Boston. The quality of life, as I talked about in 2000, I think it was 7 or 8, where you were fighting for prescription drug programs. That didn't exist before. Fighting to make sure that our seniors had more benefits on a statewide level, that didn't happen before. And we needed champions like Catherine Hardaway to go to the State House that understood that, first of all, had relationships. Number 2, not afraid to speak her mind. Number 3, not afraid to put it on elected officials. You see a video here right behind me that the groundbreaking of this building, or the ribbon cutting of this building. Russell Holmes doesn't represent this neighborhood. Most of the people in that picture don't represent this neighborhood, but they came here because they understood the importance of supporting somebody who fought so hard every single day and continues to fight for our seniors and our older Bostonians. So I just want to, for the city of Boston, I want to thank you, Catherine. I want to thank you for all the great work you've done. I want to thank your team, because none of us do this on our own. It's a team approach. So all of the folks that work here at the agency, thank you. Let's give them a round of applause for the great work they do. I want to thank you, Catherine, for being a visionary. I want to thank you for your years of leadership, because indirectly what you've done here focused, when we did a housing plan, started to have us think about our housing plan and making sure that in our housing plan there's a component for senior citizens and making sure that people that grew up in our city have a chance to stay in our city. So I want to thank you for that. I want to congratulate you on your retirement again. And I'll do that a few more times. But the last thing I want to say is, I say this a lot. When we go around the city of Boston and we see names on buildings, and oftentimes in sports, and I jokingly talked about Big Papi, we kind of always promote the athlete, the person that did amazing things in our city, and we put them on a pedestal as a hero. But the real heroes oftentimes are the people whose names are on these buildings, or on a street corner, or in a room. Those are the folks that actually helped build our city. Those are the folks that created to make sure we had opportunity for everybody. This is a special neighborhood here in Dudley. And Catherine's life has been focused on improving the quality of life for the seniors in this community. but indirectly, her job has been to improve the quality of life for all of the people in this neighborhood. And the fact that her name is going on this building, and the fact that this building is so prominently located in Dudley Square, is a statement in itself of what our values are in Boston. And our values in Boston are that we care and we love for people. Catherine, you've led and showed us the way. Thank you very much. And now I have the great honor of bringing up the next speaker, who's the State Representative Chyna Tyler, who yesterday at the State House was able to work on an amendment in the budget that gave us $1 million to continue to fight the opioid crisis here in the neighborhood. The money being dedicated to the neighborhood. She was also able to fight to get more money reimbursement for the city of Boston, for the school department, through a charter school reimbursement line item that's going to be millions of dollars back to the city of Boston that we can reinvest back in our schools. She's been a leader at the State House for now in our second term as a state representative, doing an amazing job. I want to bring to the podium my friend and our state representative, Chyna Tyler. I want to give a shout out to Bishop Waters too. Sorry, Bishop, I didn't say beautiful prayer.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Chyna Tyler, state representative of this district. So for all visitors, welcome. You're always welcome back. And I had the honor to serve, or have had the honor to serve, the community that I was born and raised in this neighborhood for the past 2 years, as Mayor Walsh said, on Beacon Hill at the Massachusetts State House. And I'll just make my remarks very, very quick. Again, first of all, I apologize for my appearance because I've got a lot going on today, but I definitely wouldn't miss it, the opportunity in the world to be able to honor Ms. Catherine and all your efforts that you've done. And I just really wanted to just kind of hit on one point is that, you know, aging in Boston, or aging in general, sometimes can be a very, very difficult thing. I have a lot of people who are aging in my community who are having a difficult time maybe keeping their homes, staying healthy, or just finding, you know, wages to be able to pay for the things that they need to be able to pay for. And I just wanted to just make sure that you guys know that myself and all my colleagues that are here are committed to making sure that you can age well in Boston, but more importantly, here to be able to honor Ms. Catherine for all the work and dedication that you've done over the years. And so I'm super honored to be able to be here to help you know, celebrate the dedication of the building, but more importantly, we're forever in debt to you for all the work that you've done. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much, and congratulations again. Thank you.
Deputy Secretary Lipson, please come.
Good morning, everyone. So, who here is aging and aging very strong? Everybody. That's awesome. That's great. Wonderful to be here. I am one of the state partners that works with Central Boston Elder Services and with the Aging Network in Boston, including the Age Strong Commission. And one of our highest priorities is to make sure that as a state we support policies that help people age in the community that they choose. And that's exactly what has happened here today with this building and this dedication. This is really a living example of how we help people age in this very fine and very strong community. So I was thinking about this last night. I think I've known Catherine for my whole career. We overlapped when I was just starting out in the early 80s working in state government at what was then the Medical Assistance Program, which today we know as Mass Health. And we were child prodigies. We were about 16 back in the 80s. And when I think back on, you know, I've kind of come in and out of contact with Catherine as we've changed jobs and roles. And I think about her career, and the whole thing has been devoted to ensuring that communities remain strong by supporting those that help create those communities and build them into what they are today. So, you know, if I had to describe one thing about Catherine, it would be that that's the thread that's crossed her many roles and her many contributions. And these residences here are more than an honor for Catherine. The residence here is a vibrant reminder of all the work we must do all over the Commonwealth, all over the city, to make sure that Massachusetts remains a great place to grow up and grow old together. So thank you for your vision on this. Thank you for your execution. I wish Mike luck every day when he has to carry on. And it's really inspiring and it's wonderful to be here. Thank you.
At this time, our Commissioner Emily Shea from H Strong.
Hi everybody. Oh my gosh, it's a crowd out there. This is great. You have a lot of people that turned out for this, Catherine. And I can see why, because you have just been such an amazing partner in so many ways. We really appreciate that at the city. When I think about all the work that you have done as a leader of an amazing team to keep people in their homes in Boston, and then your passion for housing and your work to develop this building. We had the groundbreaking and the ribbon cutting right when I very first started as commissioner. It was one of my first housing events. I remember it. The importance of senior housing in Boston is just huge. I know our Chief of Housing, Sheila Dillon, is here in the back, and Sheila and I talk for many hours, and the mayor also is a leader of trying to think about how we develop more of these buildings in Boston, because they're so important. They create community, they create a safe place to live for people, and an affordable place to live for people. So thank you for your work on that. It's greatly appreciated in the city. And I remember my first time in this building and Catherine giving me a tour, and she took me all the way up to the top. Who lives on the top floor in this building? Oh my gosh, you have some views up there, huh? Some amazing views. And every floor of this building has its own unique personality. And I look out and I see so many of the residents that live in this building that I know and that now have a place to call home. So thank you so much for that work, Catherine. We'll always appreciate it.
Councilor Elisa Sabi-George.
I'll be brief. I wasn't expecting to speak, but it's also an election year, so we have a good time. 19 days and counting. I'm here today because this is a celebration not just of Catherine, but the community that you, Catherine, have created in partnership with all of these people in the room. I wasn't here for the groundbreaking. It was before my time on the city council. But the love that was, the hole that was dug that day planted, I think, roots for the love that we see and feel today in this room. And I wasn't there, so I don't have an opportunity to reflect on that celebration. But no doubt the excitement that's here today is probably the same that was felt that day. It just was, and I think someone used the word execute. So there's a vision, and we all have vision, and many of us come to the table with vision, but it's that execution that really brought us to today, and how much we should celebrate that, but the love that and the community that's been created around that vision and fulfilling that promise that you've made to so many that live here now, and so many lives that are touched now by extension of what's been created today. So I want to thank also Emily for mentioning the unique characteristics that exist on each of these floors. I haven't had a chance to visit, but hopefully today I'll go take a quick peek. But the uniqueness of each of those floors, I think, also represents the uniqueness of our city. And every neighborhood of the city is so special. But Dudley, I went to high school, the Madison Park building, when it was Boston Tech was where Bryant was. And Dudley has always had that very unique personality. And it's a very special part of our city. And some might argue, and I think that someone has once described it as the heart of the city of Boston. And when you look at the outlines of Dudley, it is shaped very much like a heart. So to be here in the heart of our city with all of you and really celebrating some of our oldest residents, because they really are sort of the blood that rushes through everything. So Catherine, thank you for keeping that heart beating. Thank you for keeping this community alive and thriving and growing, and for making this a very beautiful place, not just a physical structure, but a special place of love and emotion. Thank you, Catherine.
I kind of snuck in a surprise. So would Miss Nisi and any of the original choir members from Central Boston Elder Services come up, please? If you feel like singing, but I know Miss Niecy's gonna feel like singing. You don't know who you are, don't make me point you out. Move expeditiously, please. Don't make me point you out.
Miss April.
Let's give them some encouragement.
Praise the Lord, everybody. When I come before people, I just know how to just say praise the Lord. But this is the day that the Lord has made. The Bible tells us to rejoice and be glad in it. And we just want to just sing a little song for Catherine today. Just a little bit. Joy, joy, God's great joy. Joy, joy, down in my soul. Sweet, beautiful, soul-saving joy. Oh, joy, joy in my soul. I've got joy, joy, God's great joy. Joy, joy, down in my soul. Sweet, beautiful, soul-saving joy. Oh, joy, joy in my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul. With my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul.
Boston we used to have a gospel choir, and we even were invited to the State House one year to sing. So we were very important people. There's just one thing I wanted to say, and what I'd like to say is today is special for another reason. Many times we say wonderful things about people after they are gone. They didn't get to smell the flowers that you ordered, the big bouquets of flowers you ordered, and they never knew that you cared, or they never knew you appreciated them. They never once heard that you loved them. And I'm glad that today, at least we have the opportunity where Ms. Hardaway can smell her flowers, she can know what you think of her or her work, and I think that's fantastic. And we should do that more often. At this time, we will ask Ms. Catherine Hardaway, just in case she has remarks, just in case.
Oh my God, all these people for me, huh? You know, when I came, my son came to pick me up, and he says, "Come." Well, first I was talking to. We have 3 boys. The youngest one, he's a doctor. He's in Oakland, and I was talking to him on the phone, and he's like, "Okay, just enjoy the ride in the limo." I'm like, what? And then I get off the phone, and I get outside, Haris comes in, and there really is an actual limo. So the first thing I said to Haris is, Haris, you know I don't like attention. I don't like attention, I don't like being swallowed. But I want to thank Haris, he made my day very special. Is he out there? Yes, my eldest son could not be here because he's working, and I gave him a pass because he needs to go to work. But I just want to say that I love before I thank all of you, and I'm going to do that in a moment, but I have to thank my husband, who's standing over here. The 25 years I worked, he was there and he helped to take care of the children and the boys and grow up. And so he and I worked in partnership, but he did a lot. Even learned how to cook. So actually now he does more cooking than I do. I've really retired. But he was there for me. He's the love of my life. And we've been together for 48 years. I adore my sons. We're very close. Sometimes they tell me things I don't want to know. But at least we talk. They don't. But I want to say today, I am just full of love right now. You know, you know what love feels like. And I feel a lot of love in this room. I have family members who are here today, and they came a distance to get here. I have friends that I've worked through partnerships throughout the city. And my elders. I love my elders. And I want to thank the staff of Central Boston. I want to thank Michael. I think you're doing a fabulous job.
Thank you, boss.
Really, see, the thing I liked about Michael is you have to have a heart to be in this business. You have to know people, you have to be personable. And you have to remember that you didn't do this. If you think you can do your job by yourself, then you're not really thinking. Because while I was building these buildings, working with Chyna, I'm so happy to see you, Chyna. I don't know if Alan's here today. Alan was our project manager and Chyna was our architect. And John, thank you so much for being here today. Did I get, I'm aging, so did I get that right, Chyna? Frank. I'm truly an elder now. I am going to take every privilege I can that comes under that category of an older adult. But in any event, this building, we were so proud when it was built. And it only holds 57 units, but to me, at that time, that was like a drop in the bucket. But yet, it was exciting because we did something here in Dudley. It was another development to help get Dudley moving. When Central Boston first came and built the office building, we purposely did that because we wanted to be in the heart of Roxbury, in the community, and we wanted to help restart the revitalization of Dudley Square. Since that time, I've been able and fortunate and blessed to be able to work on other projects here, like the bowling building. We also, for the commitment to this community, put a store, a retail boutique my family has in that building over there. I love Dudley. I grew up in Dudley. We lived near here. I used to come here from the Burke. That was our gathering place in Dudley Square. And you'd come down and get on the bus and we'd be so excited to come to Dudley Square. And I want that feeling again. I think it's coming. We've got a ways to go, but we've made some big strides. But what I'd like to see is people start talking about Dudley with excitement. Not just old Dudley. No, Dudley is exciting. We just need to get people here to see how it is different, it has changed, it is a great area to be in. And, I am committed to continuing to work to help develop Dudley, because that's where my heart is now that I've retired. We did, Central Boston and the Board of Directors with its wisdom. Central Boston is where it is because of its board. It's the Board of Directors. And I just want to give you guys an applaud, all the board members that are here. That could have been, all of this could not have been accomplished if we did not have a board who was very supportive and staff who carried on the work. of the agency, which is really the lifeblood of the agency. You have people, it's hard work. You have people that care about the elders, care what they do. In 2000, when did we take over the protective service? I am aging now.
4 years ago.
See, I've forgotten already. I'm really retired, Michael, but you have it now.
Thank you.
But protective services, you know, that's a very vital program. People don't think about elders or older adults as needing protection, but they do. And so there's a program. I look around this room and I see a lot of people. Craig, thank you for everything that you've done. Craig has done most of our marketing and what have you, but he's also contributed in other ways in time. And he really cares about the work that he does for the agency. So thank you for that. I don't want to, if there are providers here, I know I saw Wolf, I see Eno over there in the corner. I want to thank you all for your partnerships with Central Boston, because when you go into the elders' homes, they don't see your company. You are an extension of Central Boston. And so it's a true partnership. And together, there are about 60-something contracts that Central Boston has that goes where corporations go into the homes and they provide homemakers, home health aid, and others to help keep those elders at home and keep them safe. I see Marjorie back there, I think. I don't have my glasses on, but I think that's right. So there's 3 agencies like Central Boston in Boston. There's Ethos, which, Marjorie, just wave your hand. Bill Mitchell, who was the CEO there, just retired in September. And then there's Boston Senior Home Care, and I don't know if there's anyone here from Boston Senior, but the 3 of us three agencies worked very closely together. In fact, some of our board members, we have the Elder Care Alliance, whereby there are 3 representatives from each agency that comes together to form a board to oversee programs like Boston Elder Pro, which is where you get directly into any of the 3 agencies. And also protective services is under that money management. I want to thank Sheila for all your support throughout the years, especially with building these buildings. And I want to thank the mayor. He and I today. I know your time is, you know, you're always on the run and it's very precious, but this mayor means a lot to me because I knew, and when he first went into office as a rep, and I don't know if I remember telling you this, but I walked in and I thought, he looks like my son. He's so young, you know. I'm sure the job over the years has aged you in many different ways, but you still look good. And but I just thank you for all your support. And Elder Affairs, Robin, thank you for being here. Tell Matt I said hello. I actually worked with Robin's husband at Mass Health many years ago, which we won't go back because then I have to tell you my age. But I did work with Robin as well as her husband, Matt Fishman. So, Luther, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for coming today. I thank everybody for coming today, including the staff. Tyreek, I'm glad to see you're here. Tyreek, wave your hand. Tyreek was a young intern when he came to Central Boston. Now he's grown up with Central Boston, and he works in the finance department. And as I'm going through, I'm just seeing different faces. Fred, it's good to see you here. Fred Fairfield. So if I left anybody out, I apologize. I'm so happy you're here. Carmen, is that you back there? Yes. Carmen works in finance. And but anyways, all the staff are here today. So I want to thank all the staff that are here today. I want to again thank my family. I'm overwhelmed with this. I don't know what to say other than God is good. My cousin from South Carolina. So I just want to say this to you. So I grew up in a single parent household. And for those of you, the woman in the red here with the leopard jacket trim, that's my mom. And my brother is sitting beside Ruth over here. This is Alex right here. My sister-in-law is sitting behind, next to him, that's Linda. Who's out there? Auntie Kathy is out there. My sister is out there. I don't know why you're out there, but come in here. Crystal. Crystal is my and my cousin Violet is sitting next to Sharon. Did I miss anyone else? You got Keisha in the nice pink coat out there. That's my niece. But I want to just say this, because this is what drives me. And now that I've retired, I've had time to sit back and think about life. And I never, so this is, oh, Uncle David is here. My uncle. He's an elder. Thank you, Uncle David, for coming. And Maddie is our aunt. Is right here. Did I miss anyone else? Joe. Joe. Oh, Joe. I'm sorry. He's standing right there. Hi, Joe. That's my cousin. He and I are like this. Yes. We talk a lot. I've learned a lot of wisdom from him, and he's learned. And I think we've kind of learned from each other. But we grew up. We were from South Carolina. Grew up on a farm, and we were taught to be a very close family. We stuck together. And I say that because I don't see that every day today. Some people don't have any family left. And when I look at elders, a lot of them, either their children do not live near them, or they're not in their lives. And sometimes they're by themselves. And Central Boston, in some cases, have become the extended family, or the elders. I love the elders in this building. They're so full of spirit, and they also tell us, they still call Jackie when they're something. So we know, Central Boston knows what's happening in the building. I just want you to know that, because I laughed and they were like, well, who are we going to call? And Jackie, and Antonio. But the point is that Central Boston is still here for you. I know that some people were like, you're leaving, can't you stay? What do you? No, I gotta go. But Central Boston is here for you, and they will always be here for you. And so will a lot of the folks in this room who touch your lives in many ways, like Robin. I mean, they fund the services that you get in your homes. And Emily, the programs from the city. Emily funds protective, and the mayor funds protective services. So there will always, the people in this room in some way have touched your lives. But I want the staff of Central Boston to know that I was able to do my job because of you. I was only there, you can't have everyone trying to run and do it. You got to have one person to kind of pull it together. And that's what I did. But you guys did the bulk of the work. And you have to think in life, and I tell my children this, what do you want to do with your life? How do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered for just living and, what did you accomplish? What did you leave behind to make things better than the way you found them? Everybody's life has a purpose. And I feel like I have been guarded by angels. I really do. The times when it got rough at Central Boston, I would write it down on a piece of paper, get my Bible out of my cabinet, stick that problem in there, and say, now God, it's in your hands. And it worked. And I survived for 25 years. With the help of God first, and with a lot of you in this room here. So and I want to thank you for that, because I would not be standing here today if it were not for you. And I know this has probably been a very long speech, and I'm going to kind of wrap it up. But I do thank the board of directors. I thank each and every one of you. I thank the staff for going out every day and doing the work that you're doing. The elders, thank you. And so I wish the best moving forward. I thank you all for coming today. And be a friend to an elder. You know, even every day you see someone, you never know what people are going through. They may just need a kind word. But check on each other. See, it's not so I talk to anybody. The only one that can talk to anybody better is Maurice. But the thing is, check, say hello. Some people don't even say hello. Life is tough today. You know, that hello that you say may be something that changes that person's life for that day. But love each other, because we have so many things against us. But this and this is because everybody in this room, in some way or shape, the majority, had something to do with it. Thank you. I thank Chai for your vision. And just thank you. I'm just overwhelmed, I really am. But thank you all, and thank you all for coming.
Flowers where you can smell them. So I present these to you. Love and appreciation for all you've done for staff and our community.
One, two, three.